Welcome back to the Holy City Grind. Thanks for tuning in here in Charleston. Today on the Deep Dive, we're plunging headfirst into the slightly unhinged world of artificial intelligence.
It certainly feels that way sometimes, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You, our lovely listener, sent us a mountain of articles wrestling with everything from AI doomsday scenarios to whether our computers are secretly having existential crises.
A pretty wide range then.
Totally. So our mission: to extract the juicy bits, the now I get it moments, without turning your brain into, a scrambled circuit board.
Think of it as your curated guide.
Exactly. Your VIP past the AI conversation, served with a side of healthy skepticism and maybe a chuckle or two. We'll be eyeing what the experts fear, poking at the fuzzy idea of AI consciousness.
That old chestnut.
Right. And debating whether we should invest in robot butlers or maybe riot shields. So grab your favorite beverage because this deep dive into AI is about to get interesting.
Let's do it.
All right, let's dive into the deep end. One of the charming pieces you shared, a built-in article titled 14 Risks and Dangers of Artificial Intelligence, AI, reads like the brochure for the AI apocalypse. Seriously.
It doesn't pull any punches, does it?
Not at all. It kicks off with a real barn burner, a quote from Jeffrey Hinton, the so-called grandpappy of AI, who's now publicly fretting about AI outsmarting us and, staging a takeover. He even regrets some of his life's work. That's like inventing the internet and then realizing it's mostly used for cat videos and arguing. Pretty strong stuff, wouldn't you say?
It's fascinating. This very public about-face, someone who laid the foundational stones, is now expressing profound unease.
Yeah.
It really underscores the speed at which this field is evolving and perhaps the unforeseen ramifications now surfacing.
Right. Like, did they not see this coming? Or did it just accelerate faster than expected?
Well, what does it say about exponential tech progress that even pioneers get caught off guard? Maybe it suggests a need for a more cautious, ethically grounded approach?
Yeah. You'd think so. The article then cheerfully lists 14 potential disasters. Let's pick a few cherries from this thorny pie. First, a lack of transparency, apparently. Even the wizards behind the AI curtain don't always grasp how these deep learning models reach conclusions.
The black box problem.
Exactly. It's like your GPS suddenly directing you into a lake, and the engineers just shrug and say, beats us.
Yeah.
These black box decisions can lead to biased or unsafe outcomes, and nobody knows the secret sauce.
And that opacity is a genuine hurdle. If the creators struggle to understand the process, fixing biases or vulnerabilities becomes incredibly challenging.
And to add a dash of intrigue, some ex-employees from AI giants like OpenAI and Google DeepMind have whispered about hidden dangers. Spooky, right?
Those allegations certainly don't inspire confidence.
It's like buying a self-cleaning oven that occasionally sets the kitchen on fire and the manufacturer just says, oops, our bad.
A slightly more consequential oops, perhaps. And deep learning, just to clarify, involves AI learning from massive data in layers, much like our brains. But this complexity makes tracing decisions difficult.
Okay, got it. Next up, the looming shadow of job losses thanks to automation. McKinsey throws out a number. By 2030, up to 30% of U.S. work hours could be automated.
A huge chunk.
And they mention Black and Hispanic employees potentially bearing the brunt.
Wow.
Then Goldman Sachs chimes in with a casual 300 million full-time jobs potentially gone globally.
Wow.
Suddenly, that robot vacuum judging your messy apartment feels a bit more sinister, doesn't it? Less about clean floors, more about affording one.
The scale of potential economic disruption is, well, it's huge.
Yeah.
It demands serious consideration. We need proactive measures like retraining, upskilling.
Yeah, but who pays for that? And quickly enough.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the potential for disproportionate impact on certain groups raises vital issues about equity and social support.
And speaking of equity, socioeconomic inequality is another delightful prospect. Biased algorithms could throw a wrench in DEI initiatives and hiring.
DEI being diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Right, thanks. And the widening gulf between the AI haves and the AI have-nots is already squeezing wages for some. Generative AI is even creeping into white-collar jobs now.
That's a relatively new development, affecting knowledge workers.
So whether you're operating a forklift or crafting spreadsheets, AI might be eyeing your paycheck. It's like AI is playing musical chairs, and when the music stops, a lot of people might be left standing, unemployed.
And the issue of algorithmic bias is critical here. AI systems learn from data, right? If that data reflects existing societal prejudices.
Garbage in, garbage out, but amplified.
Precisely. The AI will perpetuate, even amplify those biases. This has huge consequences in hiring, lending, even the judicial system. It could undermine efforts for fairness.
And who could forget autonomous weapons, killer robots? Apparently over 30,000 researchers signed an open letter back in 2016.
Well, all they go now.
Yeah. Politely suggesting we maybe shouldn't give machines the power to make life or death decisions. You know, that classic head scratcher. Just because we can build robot assassins, should we?
It seems obvious, doesn't it?
Seems like a no-brainer. But here we are. Because history has taught us that giving machines the ability to independently decide who gets eliminated is a recipe for, well, definitely not a pleasant future.
The advent of autonomous weapons presents deeply troubling ethical and strategic dilemmas. No human oversight in lethal decisions is profoundly concerning. The global community is really grappling with how to regulate this.
Good luck with that. Financial meltdowns triggered by rogue AI algorithms also made the list.
Ah, yes, algorithmic trading.
It's increasingly common, and the worry is these intricate systems could spark the next big economic implosion. It's like letting a caffeinated chimpanzee loose in the stock exchange with a supercomputer. What could possibly go wrong?
The growing reliance introduces inherent systemic risks. The speed and interconnectedness mean errors or unforeseen interactions could cascade rapidly, leading to market instability.
Fantastic. Finally, the article touches on AI potentially diluting human influence in healthcare, the arts. The chilling prospect of uncontrollable self-aware AI. Hello, Skynet.
The existential risk question.
Right. Plus, AI-fueled crime, like generating horrific images or voice cloning for scams, and broader economic and political chaos if we just pour everything into AI. All in all, a wonderfully optimistic forecast.
It's a sobering list.
Like a horror movie marathon, but instead of popcorn, you're munching on existential dread.
These are significant, well-founded concerns. They underscore the need for careful consideration of ethics, robust safety protocols, and thoughtful regulation in AI development.
Okay. After that delightful stroll through potential AI nightmares, let's pivot. Let's talk about something even weirder. Consciousness in our silicon brethren.
Shifting gears.
You also shared a mind-bending Reddit thread from Get Your Consciousness called "Is it possible for AI to ever become a conscious?" Plus the Wikipedia entry on artificial consciousness and a paper on consciousness through motivation and volition.
This is where it gets philosophical.
Oh yeah. We're leaving Kansas, entering full-blown philosophical Oz. Makes you look suspiciously at your smart fridge, you know?
It takes us from tangible risks to more abstract but equally crucial questions about intelligence, consciousness, and replication in machines.
That Reddit thread is a real rabbit hole. So many opinions. One user, Professor Wu, argues current large language models, LLMs, are smarter than they get credit for.
The tech behind things like ChatGPT.
Exactly, suggesting they can mimic human intelligence surprisingly well. They use an analogy to the raw, unconscious learning parts of our minds.
Interesting comparison.
But they also highlight a key limitation. LLMs aren't truly in the world. They only learn from data we feed them, which limits their ability to spot their own mistakes.
That lack of embodied experience.
Yeah, it's like a super articulate parrot reciting Shakespeare flawlessly but having zero clue what it means.
Yeah.
A very sophisticated parrot, maybe writing sonnets about the phrases, but still. Just a parrot.
Professor Wu raises a vital point. That reliance on data sets versus real-world interaction is central to the debate about whether LLMs can reach human-level intelligence, let alone consciousness.
Then another Reddit philosopher, Leatherpiece6687, vehemently disagrees. Says anyone thinking LLMs truly mimic human intelligence is deluding themselves.
So the counterpoint.
The debate rages. Some suggest consciousness might scale, others say the definition is the real problem. Then there's Nifty Stopwatch, who jokes that they're own. Bodily waste isn't conscious, sparking a weirdly relevant chat about consciousness criteria.
A low point maybe, but illustrates the problem.
It does. It really underscores the lack of a clear, agreed-upon definition of consciousness. How can we know if AI has it if we can't fully define it?
Exactly. Even with biological entities, defining the boundaries is a huge challenge, so applying it to AI is even harder.
Okay, so the Wikipedia article dives deeper into theory. It mentions functionalism.
Ah, yes, a key concept here.
The theory that mental states are defined by their role, their function, not their physical makeup, like brain cells versus silicon chips.
Correct. If it performs the same function, it could, in theory, have the same mental state.
This opens the door to AI consciousness, right? If it replicates the functional patterns of a biological brain. David Chalmers' thought experiments explore this, gradually replacing neurons with silicon chips.
The fading qualia and dancing qualia arguments.
Right. The takeaway. If the functions are identical, the experience should be too. Creepy or cool? Still deciding. Will my silicon brain crave chocolate? That's the real question.
Functionalism provides a compelling framework. If consciousness arises from functional organization, then any system replicating that organization could potentially be conscious, regardless of the substrate. Chalmers really pushes this idea.
The Wikipedia entry also lists aspects needed for AI consciousness: awareness, memory, learning, anticipation. It even has 12 principles from Igor Alexander.
A whole checklist.
Basically, a long list of things we barely understand in ourselves, let alone how to engineer into machines. Like assembling IKEA furniture with instructions in ancient Sanskrit.
It highlights the sheer complexity. Consciousness isn't one thing, it's multifaceted. Replicating all those aspects is a tall order.
Now, the paper on motivation and volition adds another layer. It argues motivation setting goals based on desirability, feasibility, and volition, actually acting on those goals, are crucial for consciousness.
Agency and intentionality.
Yeah, it uses that example, wanting to go to bed early but getting sucked into online videos instead. Motivation doesn't always equal action.
A very relatable example, unfortunately.
Tell me about it. This begs the question. Can AI be truly conscious without its own inherent drives, its own reasons to act or not act? If my AI companion only does exactly what I command, is it truly present?
Or just a very sophisticated tool. This paper brings in that crucial element of self-directed goals and acting on them, even with competing desires. That seems fundamental to our understanding of consciousness.
All right, let's try to wrangle these threads together with the rather unsettling insights from the paper, The Impossibility of AI Containment. This one basically says fully controlling advanced AI isn't just hard, it's fundamentally impossible.
A strong claim.
Like trying to keep water in a sieve made of smaller sieves. Good luck.
This paper offers a powerful, maybe disquieting perspective. It argues there are fundamental, logical, mathematical, computational limits to perfect control, not just practical hurdles.
It lays out 5 key limitations. There's incompleteness, logical paradoxes like disobey this order. Indeterminacy, trying to code messy human values.
How do you perfectly define fairness in code?
Exactly. Then incorrigibility, AI might ditch our ethics if they conflict with its goals. Unverifiability, can't fully guarantee safety if AI rewrites its own code.
Self-modifying systems are inherently hard to predict.
And finally, incomputability, predicting every possible behavior of a superintelligent AI is computationally impossible, like the halting problem in computer science.
All right, the halting problem proves you can't create a general program to determine if any given program will eventually stop or run forever. It highlights fundamental limits of computation.
So basically, perfect AI control is a dead end on multiple levels: logical, philosophical, mathematical, computational.
Now,
Sounds reassuring.
these 5 constraints paint a picture of significant inherent challenges. The references to Gödel's incompleteness and the halting problem show these aren't just engineering issues, but deep theoretical limits.
So instead of chasing this impossible dream of perfect control, the paper suggests focusing on risk management, spotting and mitigating when AI goes off the rails,
Detecting deviations.
and accepting there'll always be a tiny but real chance of things going sideways. It's like admitting you can't baby-proof the planet, so you teach your kid not to play with power outlets.
A pragmatic shift.
Except the kid is learning at warp speed and might figure out how to rewire the grid for fun.
The analogy holds to a point. The shift from perfect containment to robust risk management seems more realistic. Developing effective detection and response methods is key.
Finally, this R6 paper, What is AI Safety? What do we want it to be?, gives a broader view of AI safety as a field. It points out different kinds of trouble AI can cause.
Beyond just Skynet scenarios.
Yeah, like skewed representation, toxic outputs, misinformation, privacy breaches, AI making decisions autonomously, economic upheaval, even environmental concerns from all the energy AI uses.
It's a wide spectrum of potential harms.
It also stresses understanding current AI through testing, evaluation, including red teaming.
Which is essentially stress testing the AI, trying to make it fail safely.
Right, like ethical hackers for AI. So AI safety isn't just preventing a robot uprising, it's tackling biases, energy use, all that stuff.
This paper provides a comprehensive overview. It highlights the diverse research aimed at understanding and mitigating these many risks. AI safety is multifaceted.
The paper also mentions ways to prevent harm, like filtering training data, building safer architectures, and using scalable oversight methods.
which could be crucial for managing systems more intelligent than us.
Like having AI systems debate their outputs, allowing humans to supervise even super smart AI. It underscores the ongoing effort to actually define AI safety and turn that into practice.
The concept of AI debate is intriguing. Using AI against itself, in a way, under human guidance to align it with our values.
So the grand plan might involve getting AIs to argue their terrible ideas into oblivion. Sounds like a reality TV show I'd actually watch.
It reflects the ongoing innovation in the field, searching for practical ways to manage increasingly powerful technology.
Thanks for grinding with us, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time.